Hello, it's time for another episode of Discipleship Today. My name's Bob Benson. I pastor Christ Lutheran Church out in Greenhurst. It's actually a Bemis Point address. We've been working through some texts, looking at it, pulling out the discipleship part of these texts. And we've been, for a little while here, in 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy is a letter that Paul wrote to Timothy, who was pastoring a church, kind of laying out exactly what he should be doing and the way church organization should run. And we're in 2 Timothy 4, verses 9 through 15. I'm going to read those real quick in the English Standard Version, then we're going to back up and we're going to talk about it a little bit. It says there, and this is under personal instructions, the things that he's talking personally to Timothy about. Do your best to come to me soon. For Demas, in love with this present world, has deserted me and gone to Thessalonica. Cretans have gone to Galatia, Titus to Dalmatia. Luke alone is with me. Get Mark and bring him with you, for he is very useful to my ministry. Tychicus I have sent to Ephesus. When you come, bring a cloak that I left with Carpus at Troas. Also the books, and above all the parchments. Alexander the coppersmith did me great harm. The Lord will repay him according to his deeds. Beware of him yourself, for he strongly opposed our message. Here, Paul's laying out some things about people, really bemoaning the fact that he has been left alone with Luke. And I think Luke would have been a great guy to be left alone with, but he talks specifically about people, where they were going. They took Paul's approach. Paul was a guy that traveled all over the ancient world, starting churches. He was an evangelist, led people into a relationship with the Lord, and then put them in charge of their own churches. And that's what he's done with Timothy, this young guy that took over this church. But he sends these people everywhere, and they're doing the same thing. And that's what disciples do. When you are discipled and you are discipling, you're magnifying the ministry. And that's what these guys were doing. Other than this last one, Alexander the coppersmith. It seems that he did some things to Paul that Paul didn't like, and they're not specified here. And he said, beware of him yourself, for he strongly opposed our message. There was a difference there of something, and it was big enough that Paul wanted to warn Timothy about this guy. Whether he was a false prophet or he just completely opposed the message of grace and mercy that come through Jesus Christ, we're not sure. But it was enough that he had to tell Timothy to watch out for this guy. We want to be these kind of people, not like Demas, who was in love with the world and left Paul because he was in love with the world, but we want to be like these other guys. The Cretans had gone to Galatia, Titus had gone to Dalmatia, Luke, Mark. Paul specifically asked to bring Mark. He's very, very useful to me. And we know that didn't hold true all the time, that there was a difference of opinion at one time, and Mark had and Paul had separated. But it seems like there's this reconciliation here, and really that is the family business, is reconciliation. Mm-hmm. It's all about reconciling with people. So we can learn from these letters that Paul wrote, especially to Timothy and Titus. And we're going to be finishing up 2 Timothy here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be headed into Titus, another letter that he wrote to a young pastor. So for discipleship today, keep discipling, keep being the kind of people that are not only being discipled, but are discipling. For discipleship today, my name is Bob Benson. Thank you.